Welcome to the first ever fantasy Mo Wiff. So we're going to talk about what it takes to play here in week 1 and how you can go ahead and set up your lineup. So how to play, it's $5 to play for the week. You got $50 to spend on your roster. Your roster consists of 8 players, 5 hitters, 3 pitchers, and players will score points for your team based on how they perform. So how does that scoring work? A run is a point, a hit is a point, doubles are 2 points, triple are 3 points, home runs 4, RBIs are 1, walks are 1, strikeouts are negative 0.5. On to the pitching side of it, you get 0.33 points per out, which equates to basically 1 point per inning pitched. You get 1 point per strikeout, 5 points for a win, minus 3 points for a loss. Every run, hit, and walk they give up is a minus 1 point. So here's a look at the pricing for all of the hitters for week 1. I'm not going to go too crazy into this whole list, but these prices were based off of how many fantasy points they would have scored last year. You can find these same images on all of our social media posts about the fantasy Mo Wiff situation. We do have our own Twitter account that is at fantasy Mo Wiff. We also posted on the main Facebook page for Mo Wiff as well as we're going to have some weekly content here, and there will be a link to everything in the form, and the form will be linked in the description below. So here's what we're going to do for week number 1 and maybe other shows. We will go ahead and just work you through our lineup. So this week I'm going to show you exactly how you can use this form to fill out your paper. Next week we may only just go over players that I like. But for this one, I'm going to directly show you how it works. So here's all the same rules that we saw earlier. $5 per team, due before Thursday. I'll probably talk to you if I haven't got it. $50 for the 8 players. That's 5 hitters, 3 pitchers. Scoring rules, you can pull it up right here. It's an Excel sheet. Might be difficult on your phone, but it's also posted on all our social medias. Weekly pricing, same boat. It pulls up an Excel sheet. Could be difficult on your phone, but there's pictures on all our social medias. The payouts, 50%, 30%, 10%, 5% each on those ones. That'll be based on how much is collected for how many teams. If we've only got like 6 entries though, I'm not going to pay out 4th and 5th. I'm thinking having this be like top half type payout situation. But we're going to go ahead and get filling this out. So my email address, my name. All right, and now hitter number 1. So I'm thinking about that $50 budget. That works out to be just a little bit over $6 a player, but not much more than that. My original lineup that I made before recording this had Andrew Nichols in this spot, but it has been reported that Andrew Nichols is out for this week. Some other notable outs are Spencer Bogad and Ryan O'Rear as well. So not all managers are going to be fantasy friendly. They're going to make their decisions for the competitive edge to some extent, but in this case, we know a few players. So I pivoted and I went to Tommy Dwyer with the Empire. This was Andrew Nichols, as I said. What I'm thinking here, though, in this situation is Tommy had a great swing at the tryout. The Empire do find themselves playing the Thunderbirds without Andrew Nichols. Tony Cochran, obviously a top-end pitcher, but they may want to spread that ball around a little bit with their pitchers, so I'll take that chance and take Tommy Dwyer right at that average player mark of $6. So all of the rookie players, we have no Mo Wiff data, so what they are currently is all at that average price of $6. Another player that I went with, my next hitter, was Nick Bone. So the reason I went with Nick Bone is because he was a $3 player. It saved me a little bit of money, but I felt like this is a value pick. Nick Bone has come up big in big situations for his team. He's got a great swing, and he has been known to get rolling night to night. So I'm taking that shot that the Mambas without Ryan O'Rear, that he's going to get a good opportunity to hit. I'm going Sam Skibby as an expensive bat here at $8. So I did go Sam Skibby. It's kind of hard to just deny that he's one of the best players in the league. And when you can get one of the best players in the league and not pay top dollar, that feels like a good spot for me. He missed some weeks last year, so his fantasy points were a little bit down. You know, you never know exactly how many players the Mojo might play, exactly what that lineup's going to look like, so there's a little bit of risk there, but I'll take that opportunity with Sam Skibby in the opening night spotlight at $8 as a pretty good buy. My hitter 4, I'm going another rookie with James Dutton. So the idea on that is that James Dutton is a early first round pick. I can get him for only $6, so I like the upside there. I'm hoping with this pick that Cam Smith and the Bombers decide to see what they have in some of their new arms, and maybe Nick Bone as well. So maybe if we don't see a full game out of Cam Smith in this situation, that opens up the opportunity for Dutton to come through and maybe get us some fantasy points. And my last hitter, I stuck with the rookie idea as I went with Caleb Schweigert. And the reason I went with Caleb is just like some of these others. You're talking about the first overall pick in the draft at $6. The Pilots are in a situation where they're playing the Mojo. Sam Skibby is going to be a tough matchup. That's the thing with opening night. Everybody's only playing one game. There could definitely be some tough matchups there across the board. But the Mojo, once again, have players who are part-time, and they're going to rotate that group of players around quite a bit. And my thought is that if they have more than one pitcher there that night, they may pivot off of Sam Skibby halfway through the game to allow someone else to pitch, and then give another opportunity for a second-hand pitcher to give Caleb some good at-bats that may not be that dominating presence of Sam Skibby. On to the pitching side. You only get 3 pitchers, but to get the top-end pitchers is very expensive, but the top-end pitchers can score you a lot of points. So with pitching being good pitching scoring you a lot of points, I am going to go a little bit against what I kind of said earlier, but I am going to go ahead and pay top dollar for Cam Smith here. So Cam Smith was a tremendous fantasy point getter last year, according to his stats. You know, you always like his opportunity to pick up the win, which is good points. You know, Cam Smith, if he pitches, is going to strike out a lot of guys, which is going to give you points. He's not going to give up a lot of hits, which is going to be kind of that prevention of, you know, the negative. So Cam Smith, to me, is a must-have in my lineup just because he can generate so many points in not as many innings on a night that you're not 100% sure how people are going to use their pitchers, only having the one game. Going back to my thought process on offense, Caleb Schweigert is going to make his way into my pitching staff as well. I see I added an extra E here. Sorry about that. So Caleb's in my pitching staff here because I can get a #1 overall pick. He throws very, very well, and I can potentially get a very good pitcher here for the average price. And this was before knowing Andrew Nichols was out of the lineup. Now knowing he's out of the lineup, this pick to me is even better. Just to, you know, take away another weapon from the Thunderbirds there. They still have a very, very good lineup, but I'm betting on the electric arm at $6 as a bargain. And then on the pitcher 3, I am going for myself here. I feel like at $4, I know that I am starting this game without Spencer Bogad. The plan is to be transparent. The plan is Sam Eichenlaub will come in and pitch at some point. But for myself, I'm going to bet on myself that at least the innings I pitch, that I'm going to pitch well. My pitching stats last year weren't the best, but I also felt like I had some games that kind of inflated some of those numbers because it was more about winning the games or being what the team needed in those games than it was about my personal stats. And some nights I just didn't perform, so that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to bet on myself in this situation that I can rack up some points that make me easily worth the $4. Comparatively speaking, just to save a little money on pitching and possibly get, you know, a good amount of points there. So that's how I went for my lineup. We do have a couple tiebreakers just in case. The first one I made thinking, oh, this is a great idea. We'll just do how many home runs in the week. I just wrote 6. I have no idea. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know, home runs in a week, that could easily be written the same across the board, and we really don't want to tie. So then we did strikeouts of the week, and I just made up a number and said 42. So that sounded great. So once you've filled out your team, all this information, you've put on your tiebreakers, you check this. I read and understand the rules. I'm responsible for my team being under budget. Week 1, I'm being a little bit flexible, and if your team ends up over budget and I catch it, I will let you know beforehand. If not, it really is your responsibility, but I'll try my best to help you out. And I'm responsible for paying my league lineup fee on time, so please pay me. If you want to play, you got to pay. And then teams that don't pay and don't follow the rules, their lineup just won't count. So if you didn't follow all these rules to making your lineup and you don't pay me, it doesn't count. So you're just going to Venmo me the $5 for your team. You can also just click this link. It takes you straight to it. Simple as that. You pay it, you hit submit, and you're all ready to go. I already have this lineup submitted, so I'm not going to fill in these cars or whatever. But that's exactly how you fill out your team. Have fun with it. Make sure you tune in for those live games on Thursday night and watch your players play. If you're there in person, let people know they're in your lineup. You know, razz the guys that you're up against. It's going to be a great time. I think this could be a lot of fun. Don't take it too seriously. As it's set up above, though, in the rules, be respectful to the players when it comes time to scoring points. We don't need to be rude to them if they have an off night. Don't be rude to people about their price tag, because those can go up and down throughout the year. It's just based solely on a collection of stats that I designed. So if you don't agree with the price, too bad, that's what I came up with. If you don't like your price, play better, you'll get more expensive. Whatever it takes, make a good lineup, have fun with it, be respectful to the other players. Either way, let's have fun, and I will catch you guys later on.